adoption of the 2012-2013 budget for Creekside.
That's really rude to your public.
It's okay, just relax.
I'm sorry, I ignore her.
Okay, so I finished, so we need to adopt the budget.
Going to have a discussion, or?
Yes, that's what I'm bringing up, the item we're talking about.
Okay.
So the item is the vote on the appropriation limits and the adoption of the 2012-2013 budget. So now it's out for discussion. Yes, Peter?
Okay. How can we be asked to approve a budget we haven't seen, even though the minutes of the last special meeting acknowledge that I specifically asked for such a report? The Creekside Park 2012-2013 budget. My vote will be no on both resolutions. I will clarify during this discussion my reasons. One, a lack of detailed material. We don't, my expectation was something like this, but all I hear is there's a number. Okay. A lack of time, 5 minutes, to consider these resolutions and the invisible budget. That's my second reason. And third, most important, obviously, a lack of public notice and transparency. None. There has been no disclosure anywhere that we were expected today to sign off on a $1.4 million Creekside Park expense for 2012-2013. All that's been posted formally is an agenda which says adoption and vote on limits for something about to do with Creekside Park. Not clear to anybody.
Well, the board had already approved the preliminary.
Then why are we here
budget.
voting?
That's why
Can we delay?
it's just the resolution that has to go
But
behind the budget.
you were specifically asking the board to sign their name to something, and yet what I'm signing for is not a budget. They're calling it a budget. You're calling it a budget. Everybody's calling it a budget. But it's not the kind of budget I've ever seen before. You know, oh, we're going to spend $1.4 million, but you know, how much goes to this and how much goes to that?
So I'm confused as to why this is an almost adversarial topic. The district, whoever was on the board at the time, supported an application and put in an application with the assistance of contractors to the district to apply for funds to do an improvement project in our district. That's a park right down the road. At the time that was submitted, it was reviewed by the board at the time. It had a budget attached to it that it came up to the total amount, which is more than what's remaining for the 12-13 year, but there was a total amount. It's been approved. The county is scrutinizing it in great detail at the Community Development Commission level. And all that's being asked today is that because there's a remainder left that has to get spent in 12-13, there's a piece of paper the county requires for us to continue drawing down funds on a project we've already approved. The actual budget, like this line item goes here or there and here or there, has shifted since the original application, and it will continue to shift, and it gets reviewed at the facilities committee of this board as necessary as it goes along. To me, this is really like a perfunctory, we have to do this because it's the way that the county requires us to submit a piece of paper and spend it.
Your history's off a little bit. We've never approved the project, never. We've gone along on various steps with the approval being off in the future. And when we've approved it, and it was different board members when some of this went on, there were always caveats about, yes, but we want to see, before it all comes together, we want to see a detailed budget of how this money's going to be spent. And that was always coming, well, maybe, got to wait until we get a clear answer on the redevelopment funds, whether it'll really be released. And that's looking pretty rock solid now. It's 98, 99% according to this Tuesday meeting. Nonetheless, there were always caveats along with the board's nod of, okay, go to the next step. Is this, because there was lots of discussion about, is this approval? Are we approving this project? No, we're not approving it. We're just taking it to the next step, which is CEQA approval. Or we're taking it to the next step for, this or that. We've always gone to the next step, but we've never actually done what you just said we did, which is to approve the project. The board voted to ask for, take, and spend $1.4 million to do this work. You show me in the minutes where we voted on that.
I wasn't here, so I
No.
certainly couldn't
And we
speak to
did.
that specifically.
And we
So-
certainly have all along gone through and supported this and unanimously in all of the votes, even before I became a board member and sat in the audience, had, general consensus that this was the direction we were going in. And when we all approved the CEQA document, I believe we had 2 votes that night. One was the CEQA document, and if you can help me with language, the second one was approving the project as per as in relation to the CEQA document, correct? Okay.
Yeah,
So-
within that context.
So I agree with Katrina that this is just a piece of paper that says that we just have to sign this resolution. It's no different than when we signed all these other resolutions.
I'm happy that you'll be signing your name. and
I
that
would be delighted to sign my name to this.
Okay, anything else, Peter?
No.
Okay, any other discussion? If not, then I'll see if we could take a motion on the appropriations limits the first, and then the adoption of the budget second. So we'll start with the appropriations limit.
That's the, which,
Isn't that the 273?
374, resolution 374.
The resolution 374.
So I move that the board adopt resolution number 374, approving the appropriation limit calculations for the 12-13 fiscal year.
I second the motion.
Okay. Well, this is the roll call.
Roll call.
Yeah, go ahead.
Aye. Or do you want to,
You're
do
supposed
you
to
want
use
you
the
want that
roll
you go
call.
through?
Oh, here he goes.
All right, Steve Baxman,
Aye.
Katrina Thurman,
Aye.
Kathy LaPlante,
Aye.
Jean Sasso,
Aye.
Peter Andrews.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so that's passed. That's the first half, and then...
Excuse me, does this get dated today?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then the second half is the adoption of the 2012-2013 budget for the Creekside Park, and that is in the amount of $1,113,080.90, I believe. Okay, so I need a motion on, that is resolution number 373. So I need a motion on that.
I move that the board adopt resolution number 373, approving the final budget in the amount of $1,113,080.90 for the Creekside Park project for the 12-13 fiscal year.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, same roll call vote?
Roll call.
Okay, Steve Baxman,
Aye.
Katrina Thurman,
Aye.
Kathy LaPlante,
Aye.
Jean Sasso,
Aye.
Peter Andrews.
No.
Okay, so, you see that, so if that's the case, I would say that the meeting is adjourned at 4:08. Thank you. Now you have a budget meeting.
Thanks, Danny.
I go back to the library.
So you don't have a copy of the grant proposal that was
Okay, let me get my budget.
approved by